desire and disconnection. In today's world, casual sex is often seen as a symbol of liberation, an act of individual freedom where pleasure is pursued without the constraints of emotional commitment. But beneath these surface-level ideas, what if these encounters point to something deeper, a reflection of unresolved inner dynamics? Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and pioneer of analytical psychology, suggested that sexual behavior could reveal unconscious psychological conflicts. According to Jung, we all possess both masculine and feminine aspects within us: the anima, the feminine side in men, and the animus, the masculine side in women. These inner figures shape our desires, relationships, and sense of self. When casual sex enters the picture, it may not be merely about physical pleasure. It may be an unconscious attempt to address a psychological void, a manifestation of the inner imbalance that comes from a lack of integration of the anima and animus. The unconscious figures, anima and animus, inner forces guiding desire. Jung's theory of the anima and animus presents a compelling view of the psyche as a dynamic interplay of masculine and feminine energies. These are not biological distinctions, but psychological archetypes. The anima is the feminine aspect within men, representing qualities like receptivity, emotional depth, and intuition. The animus, on the other hand, embodies masculine traits in women, including assertiveness, rationality, and independence. These inner figures shape our unconscious projections, desires, and the way we relate to the opposite sex. Jung argued that the journey of individuation, the process of becoming whole, requires the integration of these opposing forces. When ignored or repressed, however, the anima and animus can create imbalance, leading individuals to seek fulfillment in external experiences rather than addressing internal conflicts. In the context of sexuality, a person's relationship with their anima or animus can directly influence the way they engage in intimate relationships. If these internal figures are poorly integrated, it can manifest in patterns of emotional detachment, projection, and shallow sexual encounters. Casual sex, then, might be an unconscious attempt to satisfy unmet psychological needs without the emotional or relational depth required for true integration. Projection and the unconscious search for wholeness. A key concept in Jungian psychology is projection, the unconscious process by which individuals attribute their own internal, unresolved qualities to others. In the realm of casual sex, projection can play a central role. For instance, a man whose anima remains unconscious might project his desire for emotional intimacy onto his sexual partners. He may hope that the physical closeness will fulfill his unmet need for deeper connection. However, when the encounter is shallow and emotionally disconnected, the projection remains unfulfilled, leaving him feeling even more fragmented. Similarly, a woman who has not integrated her animus may project her desire for independence and self-assertion onto her partner. She may expect the sexual encounter to validate her sense of self, but because the relationship lacks emotional depth, the projection remains unsatisfied. The result is often a sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction, as her deeper psychological needs remain unmet. These projections reflect the unconscious longing for wholeness, an attempt to reconcile the masculine and feminine aspects of the psyche. Casual sex, in this sense, becomes an unconscious attempt to fill a void, but because it remains disconnected from emotional depth, the integration of the anima and animus remains elusive. The paradox of sexual liberation. Casual sex is often touted as a form of sexual liberation, a rejection of traditional norms and an embrace of freedom. However, Jung would argue that true sexual liberation is not found in the act of sex alone, but in the integration of the anima and animus. In Jungian terms, sexual liberation is a process of psychological wholeness that goes beyond physical freedom. It requires individuals to confront and reconcile their inner masculine and feminine energies, leading to authentic self-expression and deeper relational connection. From this perspective, casual sex, while it may provide temporary relief or pleasure, can be seen as a form of fragmentation. Rather than leading to wholeness, it reinforces the disconnection between the conscious self and the unconscious aspects of the psyche. In avoiding emotional depth, individuals may inadvertently prolong their psychological fragmentation, reinforcing their inner conflicts rather than resolving them. Interpretation, a mirror of the unconscious. We can interpret casual sex not as an isolated behavior, but as a reflection of the unconscious dynamics at play within the individual. Rather than simply a quest for physical satisfaction, casual sexual encounters may serve as a form of emotional compensation, a way of temporarily filling the void left by an unintegrated or unconscious anima or animus. However, these encounters often fail to provide the deep emotional satisfaction that comes with genuine intimacy, leaving the individual feeling unfulfilled and disconnected. Instead of leading to deeper connection, casual sex often reinforces emotional detachment, leaving individuals feeling unfulfilled. By avoiding the deeper work of emotional intimacy and integration, casual sex serves as a distraction from the uncomfortable process of individuation. However, if individuals can recognize the unconscious patterns that drive their behavior, they can begin the work of integrating their inner anima and animus, leading to a more balanced, authentic expression of their sexuality. From a Jungian perspective, the search for wholeness is at the heart of human desire. The anima and animus are not simply archetypes, they are the keys to understanding our relational dynamics, our desires and our struggles with intimacy. Casual sex, then, can be seen as a symptom of deeper psychological work that remains unfinished. It is an unconscious call for integration, a desire to reconcile the inner masculine and feminine energies in a way that leads to a more authentic, balanced, and meaningful life. The exploration of casual sex through the lens of Jungian psychology invites us to reflect on our own unconscious patterns, the ways in which we engage with intimacy, and the role our inner anima and animus play in shaping our relational experiences. Rather than simply condemning or accepting casual sex, we can view it as a window into the deeper psychological forces that drive our behavior, and perhaps a catalyst for personal growth and self-awareness. Thank you. Have a good day.